elaborate scheme. It is sophisticated, and early on, as soon as they catch you on the phone, they intimidate you. I was told within the first 30 seconds that I was being charged with tax fraud.
With Miranda Khan, J.D. Hayworth welcoming you into our third and final hour of America's Forum for this Thursday. And as we just heard from one of the victims there, Miranda, scammers are striking again. Always, right? It's being reported now that scammers have called 10,000 Americans a week posing as IRS agents. Of course, this is tax season, right? They've stolen now $15.5 million from 3,000 victims already. The whole notion of scams and security and cybersecurity, some of the topics we want to talk about now as we are joined for more on the story by Congressman David McKinley, the chairman of the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations of the full House Energy and Commerce Committee. It is very good to have you here with us, David. We want to thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for the opportunity, and it certainly keeps unfolding. Listening to your news account of all the events that are going on around the world, it's got to be concerning to everybody about how there's such unrest, and this issue that you've been talking about, the tax fraud, is very troubling because we've got to find a way to stop that. But your thoughts on that or questions about how we might address that? Because we know last year that they stopped something. I saw the article this past week. There was some $25 billion $25 billion worth of fraud that they caught, but they $5 billion with a B again slipped through. So this is a very, very significant problem we have to deal with. And I want to make sure that we protect our viewers that are watching right now. Can you explain how this scam works so they know what to watch out for? Well, that's the concerning thing. We had a hearing just this past week about cybersecurity, and what was revealed was that typically when you're either small business or personally, when you've been hacked by someone getting access into your computer data, they can be there as long. They've now got it down. Last year, at average, they can be in your computer before you're caught by 205 days. Wow. Now that means, for 200, that's 7 months. They've already been able to go through all your files, all your information, everything about you. They're going to get before they're caught, and you won't you won't catch them yourselves. You will be notified by someone that says your computer has been hacked, because you don't have. Typically, I don't have it in my home computer here. I don't know that how I've been hacked, but someone will contact me, and they have. They've told me. See, here's what happens. That using these online tax applications and tax filings, they will hack into your computer, find out that you use one of the online services, and then they will file your taxes for you, asking for a large refund, and to apply that refund to a special credit card, their special credit card, which only they have, the individual, the hacker. And so it might be $5,000, $10,000 in a refund comes back to them, then they run with it and disperse. You then go to file your taxes and find out you've already been refunded $10,000. As discouraged, see how that works, David? And then they're going to say, "Wait a minute, that's not my taxes." They're going to say, "Well, then you have to pay back the $10,000." So how can someone avoid being scammed, and what would you advise people who've had this happen to them? Well, I don't have good advice yet on that. That was this hearing we had this past week was about this whole thing of cybersecurity. I don't think that the American public fully grasps the seriousness of this issue of cybersecurity. We talk in such obscure terms. Yesterday we had a discussion on cybersecurity and the electric grid. Things we were using terms like, and I wrote a note to myself: source agnostic architecture, vulcanizing, polar vortex. We're not talking to the American public when Washington and Congress talks in those levels. Yeah, we've got to find a way to reach out and warn people, tell them what could possibly happen. But right now, in some respects, I'm troubled that it takes us 200 and some days to detect that someone's into our system.
Well, David,
in 200 days, they've done all the damage they ever need to do.
The one great thing,
I think we have to do is make sure that they have the most current filter that you can, and to make sure that they're working with their banks and other institutions that they do business with. That if there's something that's out of the ordinary, they're tipped off about it as quickly as possible.
Well, David, you are one of only 2 engineers serving in the Congress. We hope you can engineer a solution. We've just scratched the surface. Thanks for your time. We hope you'll join us again real soon. And America's Forum continues after this.